If someone tells me that the Premier League is better than La Liga, I need you to qualify your statement. You could just say the Premier League is better than La Liga. I'm like, qualify it. If you say that it's better because it's much more popular, cool. That's your perspective. When we look at the data of when La Liga teams face EPL teams, when we look at the data of the amounts of times the La Liga team has won the Europa League or the Champions League in the last 10, 15, 20 years, La Liga teams rise to the top. When people asked me what's the best league, my response was always that in terms of what? Because see, that's what you've got to say. In terms of what? You can't just say, okay, what's the best league? In terms of what? If we're saying money, there's no debate. Premier League wins. But if it's in terms of, see, for me, this is a football channel. This isn't a freaking Bloomberg. This is a football channel. But if this is in terms of football, I'm like, the best way to do this is how well do teams do against each other head to head? That's how you prove what is the better league. But again, it's about what parameters are we using? Are we using money? Are we using competitiveness? Are we using popularity? What are we using? You see, my perspective is, when they compete, who wins? See, I mean, competitive matches, I'm like, okay, who is the best? When you now face each other, who is the best? And I said over a 10-year period, La Liga has proven to be the best both in the Champions League and in the Europa League. And I just think that, you see, for me, there's no freaking dude that I have here in the race. I'm just here to give you the freaking facts. You know, I told you, it's what I said on my Twitter. I don't tell you what you want to know. I tell you what you need to freaking know. And I was like, when you look at what Sevilla have done in the Europa League, what Villarreal did against United, a team who came down from the UCL and Villarreal in their first ever major European final. Look at what the Real Madrid team did. Look at what the freaking Barca did. You know, that Barca team, they won 2 trebles. Barca won 2 trebles. Real Madrid did a 3-peat. And they've won 5 UCLs. They won 4 in 5. So, when you look at that, it's like La Liga has proven to be the best team when they face each other. So, I never really understood when people say, okay, the Premier League is now proven to be the best, because you have to qualify your statement. You have to qualify your statement. Are we talking about football, or we're talking about popularity or money? Because let's keep it a start, because see, this is significant, because the build up to this, because again, I remember what guys were saying on Twitter, and I was like, okay, cool. The build up to this was, this is Queen Lizzie lives. This now shows you why the Premier League is number one, because you saw how well West Ham were doing, how well Leicester City were doing, and people were saying City and Liverpool, who were fighting for the league, they're not going to meet each other in the UCL final. That was the belief. That was the belief, that they're going to meet each other in the UCL final. When I think it was 2019, when you saw Tottenham and Liverpool in one final, and you saw Chelsea and Arsenal in one final, people went crazy, bro, EPL, they're the best, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but that's just 1 year. You see, I need a sample size. You being amazing for 1 year isn't the same as being amazing for 5 years or being amazing for 10 years. That's why, you look at the NBA, which is why I was even having this thing in my head of like, how do you know what is the sort of the better team? And it's interesting what they do in like the NBA, which is that best of 7. Okay, you beat me today. Can you beat me again? Can you beat me the best out of 7? Then if over a 7-game series, or you can best me of best out of 7, which is first to 4, I hand it to you. You beat me 4 times. It is what it is. But you beat me once. Beat me 4 times. So my thing is that you did it once, cool. Can you do it twice? Can you do it 3 times? Can you do it 4 times? Can you do it 5 times? Can you do it a 3-peat? So La Liga has shown that wherever they've been, they've managed to say what's up because let's put it, what was the narrative? Messi has left, Cristiano has left, La Liga is done, it's finished. No one's going to watch La Liga right now. And I was like, no, I'm going to watch it because the football is still good. Because Madrid still plays there. He's one of the best midfielders of all time. Benzema still plays there. He's the best player in the world. Vini still plays there. He's one of the best young players in the world. Camavinga, he's one of the best young up-and-coming players in the world. Courtois, he's the best keeper in the world. So why would I not watch a league that houses some of the best players in the world in their team? you know. So yes, Cristiano is just one player, and what you've seen from Real Madrid is that quality and that young talent pretty much won the day, because we have to keep it real. And I think this is where EPL fans, you have to just, because this is a tough pill to swallow. It's a very tough pill to swallow, and I get it. I understand, but it's a tough pill to swallow. But you're just gonna have to accept it, because the reality of the situation is this: Real Madrid this year were in a rebuild. They were in a rebuild. A lot of these guys said what's up in 2014, but a lot of them are aging, mid-30s, late 30s, and so forth. And a lot of these guys are young, but they're clear that we are in a rebuild, and we're trying to now rebuild and recreate a new team and usher in Valverde, usher in Camavinga, usher in Rodrigo, usher in Vini. So usher out, Casemiro, Modric, Cruz, Carvajal, Benzema, and so forth. And what they did was, back to back to back, they beat the three best teams in the Premier League. Guys, these are facts. I'm not like, these are facts. Back to back to back, they beat the three best teams in the Premier League. So what do we now say about the La Liga now? Oh, well, what can you say? Because people were ranting and raving about how Man City and Liverpool are the best teams. Look at what they've done. Look how Real Madrid, they found a way and they beat them. Because Liverpool, they found a way and they beat them. So I think what this shows is too much talk. He who talks the most is the weakest. So that's what I always use this example of the playground. On the playground, the kid with the biggest mouth, he's the weakest kid. And because he's the weakest, he has to talk a lot to make up for how weak he is. The kid who doesn't say anything, who is silent, that's the strongest kid, because he doesn't need to talk. The fact of the matter is, when you watch La Liga, because see, there are a lot of the issue with a lot of Premier League fans and so forth is they don't watch anything outside of the Premier League. They just don't. I grew up watching World Soccer and Trans World Sports. So in Nigeria, my favorite program was World Soccer, and what they'll do is they'll show highlights of the Bundesliga, Serie, Premier League, La Liga, French League. So they'll show all the leagues. So I grew up wanting to know what was happening in all of the leagues, because I like football. For me, football is football. I'm not going to just follow one team and only focus on all the games I just want to. No, I want to watch football because I'm a football fan. So I want to watch football all around. And when you watch football all around, you see the different interpretations of the game and the different ways in which the game is being played. And what you find in La Liga and what La Liga fans demand is skill, technical ability, skill on the ball, ability on the ball. So you have to say to yourself that there is a reason why. And look, things change. They go up and down. Like, you look at how proficient Serie was. But what you do tend to find is, and this is what the bit about football, pace, power, metrics, science, this, that, and everything. This is still a skill-based sport. This is still a sport that will always reward technical proficiency and intelligence, footballing intelligence. It will always reward that. It will never change. If you're good, not always, but more times than not, if you're good and you play the game the right way, the right smart, intelligent, technical way, more times than not, you will win. You'll win. If you're smarter, more intelligent, and just have better quality than your opponent, and you show that quality and that intelligence and so forth, more times than not, you will beat that pace and power team and that passion team. So, look, the Premier League will always be amazing in terms of entertainment, the amazing fans, and the competitiveness and so forth. That will always be there. So it will always bring in that excitement and it will always be the most popular. But when we now come up against when the Premier League now faces the best of La Liga or Bundesliga or so forth, but specifically with La Liga, look at what Barcelona did United twice. In both games, United got dominated in 09 and the less said about 2011, the better. Look at what Real Madrid did in these two games. 2018, complete domination, especially in that second half. Now, in this latest one, people say Liverpool should have won, but Real found a way. And this was a Real team that was not at their peak. So this win that Real had was more impressive because they had no business winning, but they found a way to win. 2018, that team was at their peak and they were very difficult to beat. This team past their peak, young players, but they found a way to win. So this is even much more impressive because it's like, but for the Premier League team, you should have won. The game was there for you to win. So for me, it's a huge L for the EPL. Yeah, it's a huge L for the EPL because if someone tells me that the Premier League is better than La Liga, I need you to qualify your statement. You could just say the Premier League is better than La Liga. I'm like, qualify it. If you say that it's better because it's much more popular, cool. That's your perspective. It's better because it has the best managers. Cool. That's your perspective. It's better because it's more competitive. Cool. That's your perspective. And you are perfectly fine to have your perspective, but you have to qualify what your perspective is. My perspective is, what I think is the best is competition, which is why the Champions League is my competition. Because when these guys now compete against each other, who comes out on top? And whoever comes out on top is better. So when we look at the data of when La Liga teams face EPL teams, when we look at the data of the amounts of times the La Liga team has won the Europa League or the Champions League in the last 10, 15, 20 years, La Liga teams rise to the top. So in my view, from my perspective, La Liga is the best because they've won the most European trophies, and the European trophies are when everybody in Europe faces each other and the cream rises to the top and the best rises to the top. So that's the thing. The bottom line is perspective, but we have to end with this. A La Liga team in a rebuild defeated the three best Premier League teams, one of which were the defending champions, one of which, and two of which were teams that people consider the two best teams in the world and the two favorites to win the Champions League. Which is why I say to myself that winning the Premier League doesn't mean much. It's something, it's a stat, but it doesn't mean much because I'm like, cool, you've won the Premier League. Can you now beat the best of Barcelona? And can you now beat the best of Real Madrid? Because winning the Premier League means nothing if you can't beat Barcelona at their best or Real Madrid at their best. Only then can you prove to me that you are truly a quality team. Because yes, when you win the Premier League, you're the best within the Premier League, but you're not the best in the world. To be the best in the world, beat the very best in the world, which is what the Champions League represents. But specifically, because La Liga have said what's up to you, I need an EPL team to beat Barcelona at their best and Real Madrid at their best. You have to give La Liga their credit because you've insulted them, you've abused them, but I think EPL fans have to sit back and say, yes, we're the most popular. Yes, we have the best managers. Yes, we're the most watched. We have the most money. That's all true. But in terms of doing your talking on the pitch and footballing competitiveness, you have to hold this L and give La Liga that dub.